In this clip, I'm going to show you how to use a prompt hierarchy for your student who may have limited mobility of their hands and arms. So these are for our students who use their head to activate the switch. So when you place it here, they're able to hit it with their head, either on the right side, the left side, or placing it in the back, whatever works best for them. And you can ask me or one of their classroom teachers what they usually do at school for that. So our prompt hierarchy looks a little bit different for those students because something like a gestural prompt pointing at it, well, they won't see that if it's up by their head. Or something like a positional prompt when we just move it closer to their arm, that wouldn't work for them either. So this is what I typically do for our students who activate a switch using their head. So we'll start with independent, then we'll move to something I like to call tactile, and then verbal, but usually when I do a verbal prompt, I'll add a tactile prompt in there too. And then we have partial physical and full physical. So let's demonstrate what independent would look like. Hey, do you want some cookies?
Cookies.
Nice work. All right, next I'll show you what a tactile prompt looks like. So this can also work for some of our students with visual impairments too, who wouldn't really see me gesturing towards a switch. So with a tactile prompt, the first time I'll present the item and say, oh, do you want a cookie? And we wait our 5 to 20 seconds, give them some processing time, and that's when I'll move to the next step, a tactile prompt. So in that case, it's a little bit of a positional prompt too. You might move it a little bit closer and just let them know where it is on their head or in the back here, just so they can feel it. So I'll wait those 5 to 10 seconds. They didn't do it independently. I'm going to let them know where the switch is.
Cookie.
All right, and then hopefully they'll hit it from there. Sometimes that isn't always the case, and in those situations, I would probably add a verbal prompt in after waiting another 5 to 10 seconds. So the tactile prompt, still not answering, so I'll say, hey, switch is over here. Oh, the one thing you need to be careful is not to hit the switch yourself with them too. You just want to gently touch them. Hey, your voice is over here.
Cookie.
And then just a note on data taking. If I am keeping track, if they did it independently, I'll probably just write an I. Marker's not working. I'd write a T for tactile and then a V for verbal on their data sheets. So then if we get to the point where independent, tactile, and verbal, and they haven't answered us yet, and we know it's an item that they want, I'll move to partial physical and full physical. So those are similar to what we did with our hands, but instead we're using their head. So I would just gently nudge them towards it for a partial physical. And if they still don't hit it with a partial physical, then I'll gently move their head towards the switch. And that would be a full physical prompt. And in those cases, I would write PP for partial physical on my data sheet or FP for full physical on my data sheet.